Hello, welcome to History Chats this afternoon. Yeah, we're continuing our month-long series on the history of the area through maps, so for March MAPness. And today we're going to be taking a look at some trails and walks and drives and routes. Well, I'll let Gary take it over from here and he'll get into the history. So let me take it away.
Thank you, Ben. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, this month is maps. Today we're going to show you a lot of maps. So put your shoes on, get on your bicycle out of the basement, and let's take some drives and explore Marathon County a little bit this afternoon with regard fun things to do, getting outside and exploring some of the trails and a variety of things to do. Mostly walking, mostly biking, and we'll conclude with maybe getting in a car, but you can also do this one on a bicycle if you wish. So that'll be towards the end. But anyways, good afternoon and welcome to Marathon County. So let's see what Marathon County can provide. So we'll start with a map, of course. This is generally the existing parks and trails as pretty much assumed by the Marathon County Park Department. We can focus in on that map, and I'm not going to go into a lot of the parks because a lot of the parks, like you see, the Big O Plain has its own trail system. We're not going to be spending. We're just going to be mentioning really just the Big O Plain Park, but a lot of other parks, including Burma Road, a forestry unit. We'll be talking about 9 Mile a little bit later, but that will come. But again, just mentioning that there's a lot more trails throughout Marathon County than what we're going to be talking about this afternoon. So let's see where we are. So here we are. Again, this is the map, and we'll focus in to begin with this purple line and this red line on the eastern sides of Marathon County. A couple of different trails, each unique in its own way, each in its history. But the big mother of all trails in Marathon County is the Mountain Bay Trail. And of course, the route of that, the Mountain Bay, comes from the route from Rim Mountain all the way east to Green Bay. So the larger trail is that Mountain Bay Trail from Wausau over to Green Bay, or vice versa, whichever way you want to go. But the history of that trail goes back a little bit further than what we may see today. You can see the extent of that line is that a railroad line coming on from Eland over towards Wausau, which was a rail line, as well as Eland coming up, going up to Anigo. So this was the Chicago Northwestern Railroad, which is the precursor of the Mountain Bay Trail. So again, this red line from Eland over to Schofield. So for our intents and purposes this afternoon, we're going to be talking about the Marathon County route from Eland into Schofield. We'll talk about the purple line a little bit later. So the Mountain Bay Trail, starting in Eland. You can see Eland is really in Shawano County, but I think that this is the fun place for us to start. The Mountain Bay Trail for Marathon County purposes really starts in Eland, and we'll talk a little bit about. And then, of course, following the green dotted line is the Mountain Bay Trail, which basically follows that route of the old Chicago Northwestern Railroad. So we start in Eland. Of course, this is one of my favorite communities surrounding Marathon County. Railroad town, have a great junction of the Chicago Northwestern. Of course, this history goes back quite a ways, but here's Eland back in the day. Today, it's altogether different. This is the depot in Eland. It's still there, and the Mountain Bay Trail goes off on your left. That's the Mountain Bay Trail, and the Wheel Wash Trail on your right. That would have been the line that went up to Anigo. So there was a little bit of a junction here, separating the two lines into Wausau and into Anigo. So here's a picture framing the two railroad lines on both sides of the depot coming into Eland. And this is again that and the wheel wash. We're not quite certain as to where this. I think there is a definite origin of the Wheel Wash State Trail, but this would be the trail that would be going up to Anigo. So this is just a little view of an aerial view of coming the Mountain Bay Trail again, coming off on your left, and the undeveloped Wheel Wash Trail would be coming in on your right, to the right of the depot. So you can see it there, and there goes the Mountain Bay Trail, and the undeveloped Wheel Wash Trail goes off to your right. That would have been, like I said before, the line up to Anigo. I think they're still waiting for the development of that trail, but it's still basically a state trail, not quite developed as yet. But again, you get a sense of the importance of the splitting of the railroad in Eland, as well as the state trails separating here in Eland. As we go west from Eland, of course, there are a variety of different stops. The first stop that you have is Norrie Lake, a very picturesque little community, and here comes the state trail. And I should be mentioning, either walking or biking this trail is quite appropriate. But again, another picturesque site along the Mountain Bay Trail. And as we come west, of course, we visit Hatley and a variety of the communities along the Mountain Bay Trail, because at one time they were an important part of the Chicago Northwestern Railroad coming eventually into Wausau. So again, summarizing the Mountain Bay Trail, that green dotted line coming into Wausau from Eland, coming through the communities of Hatley, Norrie, Ringgold, eventually Callan, and then into Schofield. So again, a great trail, the mother of trails, really, in Marathon County. Again, for further reference, I just point out this Marathon County map, because I come up to this purple line coming also off of the Mountain Bay Trail, and this is what is coming to be called the Ice Age Trail, coming north from Ringgold. It includes really the up into the Eau Claire Dells area, so it's a trail designating the Ice Age Trail, that glaciated era in the history of not only Marathon County, but of course Wisconsin and all of North America. Again, a very picturesque trails, walking trails, taken care of by a variety of different local groups here in Marathon County that are really taking care of it and developing this trail to its fullest extent. So again, coming back to some bicycle, I know I'm fleeting through this, but I just have a few minutes to really try to point out some of the other trails. This is basically a bike trail route in Marathon County, pretty much extending throughout a variety of towns but I want to just focus in on a couple special places here. I want to focus in on Sunnyvale Park, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Marathon Park. Sunnyvale Park, if you don't know where it is, it's off of 72nd Avenue on the west side of Wausau, right off of Highway 29. But it does have a trail. So the green dotted lines around Sunnyvale are very picturesque area surrounding the lake, and it also comes very close to the Big Red River. So again, if you just want a mile, a little bit, maybe more than a mile of a walk on a sunny day in September or during the summer or whenever, Sunnyvale Lake provides that little bit of a route. Also, within the city of Wausau, the park department has provided a walking trail around Marathon Park. It is very well taken care of, so that if you're in the city or you want to walk the trees and the variety of sites in Marathon Park, there is that trail that is provided. Of course, the River Edge Parkway, we cannot talk about Wausau without mentioning the River Edge Parkway, a bike as well as walking trails. The red lines are pretty much designated. The River Edge Parkway is perhaps mostly noted on the east side of the Wisconsin River as it comes through Wausau. That really, there is some walking trails also on the west side up by Marathon Electric, and a variety of other spots, mostly on Riverside Park on the southwest side. But this is the trail on the east side, featuring one of the more picturesque spots would be the trail along the kayak course. And I just show this. This is the winter scene, of course, so you don't really get the great flavor of a summer and the kayak course and along the east branch of the Wisconsin River as it comes through downtown Wausau. But the trail along the Wisconsin River on the River Edge Parkway takes you past this kayak course, and which leads you into southern parts of Wausau, including Oak Island Park. So again, a nice maybe 2-mile stretch of the River Edge Trail in this section of the city of Wausau. So I want to also give credit to the Marathon County Park Committee for their Wausau area bike map. bicyclewausau.org gets you into a great map of a variety of trails in the city, as well as the proposed North Central Wisconsin Regional Plan Commission proposed bicycle infrastructure. So we are continually planning for more and more bike trails, more and more bicycle designated trails, and along highways perhaps throughout Marathon County. But in Wausau, we designate some of the bicycle routes with this sign. You'll see that throughout the city of Wausau, and I believe throughout Marathon County, and which I give credit to the Wausau Wheelers and their wausauwheelers.org site, because they have a variety of their own routes for bicycling. This is a route that goes on the east side of, it starts at the Weston YMCA on Highway, I believe that's Camp Phillips Road, Highway 41st Street, a variety of different names, but it starts at the Woodson YMCA, goes east along there, and makes that route through the town of Reed, and then it comes back eventually to the Woodson YMCA. But their site includes a variety of different routes throughout Marathon County. So if you're looking for a ride, you may want to be in touch with the Wausau Wheelers because they have designated rides, and they're a great source of bicycle route information in Marathon County. Another great source for information is the Central Wisconsin Off-Road Cycling Coalition, which does a variety of other, which provides, for instance, this map of the 9 Mile County Recreation Area. So again, bicycling in 9 Mile, and these are the routes that the South Loop, the East Loop, and a variety of other routes that are in the 9 Mile area. So again, check them out, a variety of great routes in the 9 Mile area. The Central Wisconsin Off-Road Cycling Coalition also publishes this map of the Ringel trails that include the Ringel landfill site. That's the word I was trying to find. The landfill site. So they have worked to create some trails in the landfill area with the Ringel trails, and we give credit to this group for those trails. So with the Wausau Wheelers, and with the Central Wisconsin Off-Road Cycling Coalition, again, great sources to tap into for ideas for bicycling in Marathon County. But I can't forget about another types of walking trails. The Marathon County Historical Society published this Historic Downtown Wausau Guide to Wausau's Historic Downtown Buildings, which is basically, and you can create your own route, of course, but we have a route starting off from the Woodson House here to incorporate some of the variety of historic buildings and historic sites in downtown Wausau. And of course, we also published the walking tour of the Andrew Warren Historic District. Both of these brochures are available here at the Historical Society. And if you want, and if, for instance, a suggested walking route of the Andrew Warren Historic District would be walking McIndoe to 6th Street, then over to Grant, and then back on 4th, at 4th Street, back to the Woodson History Center. So a variety of different walks and bicycling that you can be doing. But if you want a little bit of a different experience, the Marathon County Historical Society also has available this agricultural heritage tour, which has a variety of different maps, including this perhaps driving tour of northeastern Marathon County, which includes Nutterville, Glandon, Sunset, some historic sites, and which also includes on Highway Y the Eau Claire Dells Park. So this is a driving area that includes, some history. We have this brochure here at the Historical Society that gives you a little bit of a chance to take a drive and see some of the history of a variety of the different parts of Marathon County, and some of the landmarks, some of the parks, some of the other unique situations that have created Marathon County as we know it today. So with that, I hope you enjoy this. There's lots of maps. This is Map Month, and I hope that you take a look at some of the maps. Some of these are available online, of course, but they'll get you outside, like I said before. Put your shoes on, get your bike out of the basement, and take a ride and take a walk. So with that, I'll take it back to Ben.
Yeah. And hopefully we get some weather that allows you to get that bike out and walk at some point soon. Yeah, awesome. So I'll say also that I will try to remember to put some in the description the links for some of the maps that Gary's talking about that you can find online if you want to go explore some of those sites, or go out and do this yourself. Like Gary said, we're and we've been talking about maps all of this week or this month. Next week, we're going to kind of wrap things up with an interesting one, which is the Hathaway survey map. One of the first attempts to try and map. Joshua Hathaway came up here in 1839 to survey this area for the first time for the United States government in a real extensive sense. So we'll dig into that and why he was up here and what he found and how we document that. So that'll be next week, kind of wrapping up that up. And if you're not aware, also this weekend, oh, that's weird. I don't know why it decided to, there we go. Our History Speaks series continues. I'm going to be talking about the history of public transportation. And I'm excited to fine tune everything and share some of that, the history of how we got around the communities within those communities in the history of Marathon County. So look forward to seeing hopefully some of you out on Saturday for that. That'll be at 2 p.m. Yeah. I guess with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you in maybe this Saturday, maybe next week or whenever for some more history